So this is the fretting kit that I'm shipping out to New York for Bill Meyer. Interesting character. You have to check out his website. He picked up his TechDeck, man, it's got to be 20 years ago now. And he's a massage therapist, bass player, and works a lot on basses. Anyway, he asked me to send a second long block for his TechDeck because he's working on those long flexible bass necks. So these are the 5 sanding blocks, 6 straight edges. That is the fret leveling file, the scrub block, and then I include, there's a bunch of fret guards that you can kind of cut out for tele strats, whatever. Take a second and check out Bill Meyer's site. I don't even want to tell you any more about it. It's a pretty interesting guy. Now this is the other item that I'm shipping out today. I got my local CNC shop guy to humor me into a small run of these, so there's about 5 of them left. This is the steaming jig that you've seen me use in the last 7 or 8 neck resets. Now the top portion is actually loose enough to pivot because, as you know, an acoustic guitar gets narrower in most cases towards the head block and wider towards the base of the guitar. So that top portion pivots. The bottom portion has this sort of mid-density foam that conforms to the parabolic and spherical shape of the back, holding it firmly, but not firmly enough to crack it. And this is the plunger that puts the pressure on the tip of the heel to remove the neck. Well, you've seen it. You can watch the videos if you want to have another look at it. So that is going to Fredericton, New Brunswick. Oh yeah, by the way, these 2 pads, they stay loose because they basically float up against either side of the fingerboard extension to seal the top so that you don't get any blushing when you're steaming the neck off. And yeah, that's going out to Rob, and we'll be shipping that out today. Well, over and above the typical neck to body junction, this sort of scooping up here, that all needs to be leveled. There's a high spot here and a high spot here, so we're going to take care of that. Well, we have those old strings on, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Trusty chunk of a hockey puck here. Another one here at the head block. So we're just going to deal with this first. We counted 10. I'm looking at where the string tensions on the post. So I'll probably wind it about 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that seems to do it. 1, 2, 3, 4. So what we're doing is we're restoring the same amount of tension. And just to double check that, yep, she's still ticking. Good. So I've got a thin single cut nail file. We're going to address that high spot. And this was the first spot. This fret pretty well went all the way across, but we're going to get the second high spot. Okay, let's check that again with a straight edge. Done! No more ticking. Oh, there's still ticking a little bit here, so got some issue in the center of the fret as well, right here. Okay, let's check that again. Good. 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 This fret. That side edge is good, that's good, that's good, that's done. This upper portion of the fingerboard, we're going to take care of that with the strings off, and we'll use our masking guards that you see in the fretting kit and protect that top while we level out that top end. Now we are putting a compensated nut on this, of course, so first we'll remove that truss rod cover. trusty Ziploc baggie so we don't lose all those small parts. Give that a tap. Oh, that was easy. Well, Bill, this is for your sake and anyone else who has their fret kits. So I'm making an impression into the foam on the underside. We're going to go ahead and cut that out. Now, I do already have a J200 fret guard, but I'm just doing it for illustration purposes. Now this is the leveling file that you get, so I'm really concentrating at this top end, because that's where the trouble is. We'll get out that straight edge in a second. And you can see here, I have not even grazed that fret yet. That's how much those top three needed to come down. I've mentioned this probably 100 times at least, but I have to mention it again. When you're filing, you need to move across the crown obliquely like this, and then cross hatch like this. If you go in a straight line, then you're just going to mark the width of the file. You'll cut that path into the crown of the fret. So to avoid that, you move obliquely over the crown like so. Now the other thing you need to keep in mind is you can't turn the file. You need to keep in line with the string path. Same path, same direction as the strings. Very important. Otherwise you'll get in trouble in a hurry. Okay, we're going to drop right down to a 2 thou feeler gauge, and we'll go with the straight edge again and see what kind of progress we made. There's our straight edge. There is our 2 thou. Oh, it fits under there a little bit, meaning that we could probably go a little bit further, yeah. Okay, so we still got to take more off here. In a perfect world, you would pull the frets, correct the fingerboard, and put new frets in. But a guitar of this value is kind of debatable. So what I'm doing is I'm coming past that low spot. Again, moving obliquely. Try that again. So we took care of that trouble at the top end, and now we're kind of backing up towards the first fret. Well, I think we have arrived. Yeah. So essentially what we have is this neck is now laser straight, and we are ready for recrowning. Of course, when you get over the body, you need to start at the highest point of the radius and work towards the outside edge. You can see why you got a fret guard. So these were the values of the original plastic nut. And what I mean by that is when I fretted the 12th fret note and played the open string was 12 cents flat, 10, 6, 7, 8, and 4. Now, after the first time through, check this out. A lot closer. Well, here's the final product as far as that compensated nut goes. I'm giving you the side profile just so you can see how far I had to move it. These are 12 to 53 concert pitch. Here's an example where Gibson completely missed the boat in the form follows function category. In order to tighten up these strings at the focal point on the saddle, I had to cut out a ramp with the Dremel in order for these strings to meet on the focal point without slopping around. And this one is just barely making it. In the final analysis, it's perfectly in tune, plays silky smooth, and I want to go check out this K&K Mini that's in here. Okay, this is Bruce's EJ200 Epiphone. So we'll go through a quick tuning check. Everybody knows there's a bunch of different ways you can tune the guitar. You can do the proverbial 5th fret and adjacent string, 4th fret obviously on the 3rd string. There's octaves. And then there's harmonics. This is one method that I use. It's kind of a combination of all those things. I play the open 1st string and then fret the 9th fret note on the 3rd string. These are obviously unisons. Open 2nd string, 9th fret note on the D string, and then open 3rd string, 10th fret note on the A string, and open 4th string, 10th fret note on the low E. And then over and above that, as you've seen me do enough times already, I'll do chord voicings across the entire span of the neck, so you can kind of hear that the whole guitar has been calibrated for very precise tuning. There's a 1st position A major 7. There's a 10th position A major 7. And the other thing that I've done in many other videos is a series of diatonic 10ths. And I'll add a minor 2nd on top. There's a D chord, your proverbial D chord. E major. F. And G. So for the first time ever since this guitar was manufactured all those years ago, Bruce will be able to just relax. He will very rarely even reach for the tuners. And by the way, the tuners on this guitar are quite good. And another check that I've used in other videos is that sort of garden variety C chord. Move it up 2 frets. Now a D chord, and then move it up to the 8th fret. It's a G chord. So this is the K&K Mini system. This is just directly into my Lab Series amp. So I'm purposely sort of jumping position like that just to demonstrate. Another simple progression of diatonic thirds, so I'm playing thirds on the middle two strings. This is the key of E major, diatonically I'm moving down. Well, Bruce is on his way over to pick up the guitar, so I don't want to kind of carry on here, but I just want to let you hear the intonation on this guitar. You know, that's what he came here for. And that K&K mini system. So there you have it. Of course, what everybody loves about the K&K, other than the great sound and response, is no battery. You can plug it in for a year, it doesn't matter. You don't have to worry about wearing batteries out. It's just a passive system, believe it or not. Big full sound.